Recite Surah Fatiha for the Shuhada of Islam and all of your marhumeen. Surah Al-Fatiha. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما بقية الله الأعظم روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Allah made insan and the fitrat of insan, the fitra, the nature of insan, to want everything, to desire everything. We have been made with an insatiable desire for everything. This is in our fitra. You can't get rid of it. We want everything, and we want the best of everything. This is in our nature. This is something in our nature. You cannot stop a person from wanting, from desiring. Yes, you might be able to corrupt his desire and make him settle for something less. You can make him get habituated to being mediocre. But if you set him free, if you let him have a choice, then he wants the best of everything. This is who we are. This is who we are. And the first lesson of akhlaq, the first lesson of Islamic growth, for us to grow, the first lesson is that we need to strengthen this fitrat of ours. We need to reinforce it. We need to go back to our basics and want more, desire more, run after more. That is our fitrat. Don't scare a person from not wanting more. This is a very wrong thing to do. And usually it backfires if you're trying to help him. It backfires when you're trying to train him. People have lost their basic instinct of being greedy. It's in our nature to be greedy, to have greed, tama. It's in our nature. And the more we increase it, the better it is for us. The better it is for us. And the problem is that we, as a human being, if you look around, and inshallah I will explain this, we have been made to want less and to settle for being mediocre. Instead of wanting excellence, instead of wanting greatness, we are told, no, just be happy with what you have. And so people instead of going with their fitrat, they started to corrupt it. The first lesson of Islamic growth in the Islamic framework of development, you heard the hadith before. It says that the first 7 years of a child should be what? He should be king. Yes, al-walado sayyidun sab'a sinin. Your child should be Syed, the chief, the king. For the first 7 years, he should be the king. You don't disappoint a king. You don't put pressure on a king. You don't give taklif and responsibility to a king, someone who's in charge. In other words, for example, it is wrong to ask a child, "Do you love me?" You're putting pressure on him. You're giving him taklif to choose. He shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't say, "Do you love me?" It's a wrong thing to say. Rather, you should say, "I love you." To let him know that you are in charge. You're the king. You are the object of desire. You can have what you want. Reinforce that. People, and a lot of times in our training, that's what we do. A lot of people, they go very fast in trying to curb this. They make haste. Instead of waiting the 7 years, they make haste and they start putting rules on the child. Do this, don't do that, you can't do this. And the reason they do that is because they don't have the tolerance for bearing the insatiable desire that this child has. He wants more, and he should have more, and you should give him more. Whatever he desires, that's it. You have it. He wants to play, let him play. He wants to do things, let him do things. Now what happens is that we don't have sabr. You see, we look at this very carefully, and this is something on the side I want to tell you, that when you want to decide if you want to have a child or not for new parents, don't look at kufr and the way that kuffar live their lives and think that, oh, we are not settled down yet, so we are waiting to have a child. Or, we want to make sure that we have a bigger apartment so that he can have his room. Really? Is this the reason you're not having a child? What kind of kufr is this? And you call yourself a Muslim? You're living like a kafir, but you're calling yourself a Muslim. Is this our thinking? My friends, the right way of thinking is this, that, you know what, I don't have the tolerance to have a child yet. Yes, I don't have the sabr to have it. If you don't have sabr, please don't have children, because that child for the first 7 years must be king. And if you do not do that, you are going to destroy him. When you are ready to tolerate a king in your house for 7 years, then have a child. When you're ready to bear it, all his pranks, all his crying, everything, and you're ready to bear it with a smile, then have a child. This is the right way of looking at it. Most people should have children. They can't bear a child. The minute he starts to cry, that's it, they put a pacifier in his mouth. If it's more than that, give him Tylenol. This is not how he's meant to do that. He's meant to cry. He's meant to just want. That is exactly what he's about. And that is exactly how a human being grows first. His ruh is growing. His faith is growing. his ma'rifat is growing, when he wants more, when his desire increases, there will be a time for it to be curbed. But at the beginning, no. Not at the beginning. There will be a time for it, not at this time. Yes, the next 7 years he will be an abd. He'll be a slave. But not in the first 7 years. That's the next 7 years. But right now, this is the part of growth that's important. And if this fails, then that part of being abd, it'll be useless. There's a reason why these two are one after another. And in human beings also, it's the same thing. My friends, Allah made us with the fitrah that we want more, and this desires that we have are infinite. And Allah says, strengthen that, reinforce that, make it more, want more, get more, run after more. More pleasure, more enjoyment, more fun, whatever it is, run after it. Don't curb it right now. Because this is the first stage of your growth. Now, really, when you understand what I'm saying, you'll be like, what, Maulana, everyone is saying that we should be muttaqi. That we should stop, should do this and do that. My friends, this is the reason. You know, and I will explain this. Listen to salawats. The growth of man starts with reinforcing this nature that he has of wanting infinite, wanting more, wanting the best for himself. Stopping a person from wanting more doesn't make him a better person. It will make him reject deen, reject religion, and hate Islam. That's why many religious people lose their children. You will see it across America, because they think by stopping them from everything, by curbing them from everything, that's how we make them grow. No, what you're doing is that you're making, Islam doesn't work against nature. Islam is working with the nature. Allah created it. So if you see an Islam that is working against nature, you know that this cannot be Islam. This practice cannot be Islam. This approach cannot be Islam. That's not the way Islam works. Islam has come to work with the nature, the fitrah that Allah has given us in order to enhance us, to make us reach our potential. That's how Islam is working. But because we don't have patience for this, we don't have tolerance for this, we want to now make it easier on ourselves and just make the kids shut up. You know, give them a game and make them shut up. Because I don't want to deal with the kid right now. I'm too tired, I'm stressed out. That's what happens. And even with human beings, it's the same thing. When we see someone wants more, and you will see where, who is stopping this. I'll say it in a little bit. Let's send the salawats. In other words, my friends, Allah made us self-centered. He made us all narcissists. We all want everything for ourselves. We are greedy, selfish, and narcissist, and that's the way Allah wants it. Who said being greedy is bad? Who said that being a narcissist is bad? Who told you that? That you shouldn't be self-centered? No, you should be self-centered. You should be self-centered. You should want yourself. You should be selfish. Everyone should be selfish. And when they are, this is Islamic akhlaq 101. But what happened is that you'll see this, that people have just corrupted the way Islam has taught people, how Allah has taught, how Ahlulbait have taught. They just want the easy way out. Just start with the rules and all that. No, wait. There's a time for that. There's a time for that. First of all, let's grow with our nature. Our nature is to want infinite, so want infinite. Want it for yourself, want it for yourself. And when a person becomes self-centered, he will become the best person to serve humanity. Because he will realize that serving humanity is in his benefit. The problem is that their self-centeredness has been misguided. If a person is working for himself, being selfish, he would realize that this is in my benefit to help others, to serve others. Otherwise, if that wasn't there, he wouldn't be serving. What are you serving others for? Some vague idea that, inshallah, I'll get some ajr somewhere. Or something will happen somewhere good. Bro, that's not... You are selfish. You want it. Allah said want it more so that you can serve more and sacrifice more. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. What has happened that Deen and Islam is being taught in this incorrect manner, where we are first told, stop this and you should be happy with what you have and just that's it. Don't do that, don't do this. And it's there, you see, all the time. Well, Maulana, if you go after your nafs, if you go after your desires, you'll end up becoming taghut. You'll end up doing tughyan. You know what that is, right? Tughyan, okay, it's bad. Tughyan is bad. You know, Allah sent Anbiya to deal with tughyan and taghut. Allah sent Rasulullah, one of the reasons is for this purpose. He says, Innal insana la yatgha. Mankind has become excessive in their wanting. They become excessive. An ra'ahu istaghna. That they started believing or thinking that they don't need Allah. Yeah, okay, Taghut is bad. Tughyan is bad. Allah sent Musa to Fir'aun. What did he say? Send salawat. Idhab ila Fir'aun innahu tagha. Go to Fir'aun, he has become Taghut. Now, what is Taghut? Taghut is someone who's excessive and he has started to exceed the boundaries and not recognizing the rights of others and taking what belongs to others. Taghut, yes, that is a problem. But you know what? The main problem is not Taghut. Understand this very well. Those who are taghut, or you can say nowadays superpowers, who have everything, who steal from everyone, they can do whatever they want and boss everyone around, dominate over others. You know, this taghut that we are talking of, them being taghut is not the problem. My friend, how did they become taghut? How did they become taghut? They became taghut because there were a lot of people who enabled them to. The problem are the enablers of tughyan, those who enable them. You know, for example, you think that like a person like Donald Trump, you know, he didn't become Donald Trump only thinking about himself. By himself, there are many people around him who are saying, you're the best man, you're the best man, you're the best man. These people are called enablers. They're called enablers. Taghut has enablers, people who enabled them to become taghut. What do you think, that 5'9" Fir'aun would become a superpower? How did he become God? Because there are people who enabled him. There are people who, let him be. How did that happen? Well, the way it happens is because the main question is, why did you settle for less? Why did you settle for being mediocre? You people settle for being mediocre, settle for less, were happy with whatever you had, and that person wanted more, he grabbed more because he had more, because you were once being muttaqi and not getting what is yours. That person started growing because he wanted more, and hence at the end became taghut. So my friends, the only problem is that you wanted less, he wanted more. That's it. So the question is, why did you want less? Who told you to want less? Who told you to settle for mediocre? These superpowers became superpowers because you have been told that, no, you can just be like that. You know, these zalimeen, these superpowers have a twofold strategy of dominating over others. Simply put. Very simple, so you think about this. The first thing that they do, the first strategy that they have, is to get people involved in useless enjoyments. Something that is not worth anything. For example, video games. You know, here you're playing games. And you're playing games and you win. So what happens if you win? I just won. I just want to play another game now. That's it. So while you're playing games and you're watching movies and you're into these stupid, frivolous activities, and you're happy with that, someone else is taking power, someone else is taking what is yours, and then at the end, dominating over you, he becomes a superpower, you become the third world. That's first strategy that they have. Get them involved in useless things. The second strategy they have is to create a false religion, a false deen, a false Islam that tells people, don't be greedy. Be happy with what you have. This is how you will reach the higher levels of Iman. And you know, this is what you need to do. So what happens, everyone's like, I want to be good. I want to be nice. So I shouldn't be running after my greed. I shouldn't be running after these things. I shouldn't be wanting more. You know what happens when you don't want more? Someone else is going to grab it. And when someone else grabs it, then they will end up dominating over you. You become their slave. You become subservient to them, and they will now lord over you. Who told you to do that? Allah is saying, I didn't create you with that fitrah to want less, to settle for being mediocre. I didn't make you like that. What made you like this? Well, we were taught whenever we went to Majlis or when we went to speeches, everyone was just telling this, that. Listen, where do you curb your desire? At what point do you curb your desire? First, you need to have desires. Then you need to guide them. Not that you don't have desires. That's not what I'm saying. Islam doesn't work against fitrat. If I made your fitrat, and if I made your nature to want and to desire infinity, to want everything, to want the best of everything, it means that my deen has come to make that stronger, that fitrat stronger. And if any deen is trying to stop that fitrat, you know that this deen cannot be Allah's deen. It cannot be Allah's deen. Allah, you made my fitrat like that. This is how I am. Now why are you trying to stop me? Then that's a cruel game that Allah is playing with us then. If He made our fitrah that we want temptation, then saying, now let me play a game with you, Then He shows us all the things that tempt our temptation. And we are like, Allah, what do I do? Close your eyes. But if I close my eyes, I can't run. Friends, this is not the practice of deen. Really, this is not what it meant for. Allah did not make a game a cruel game with us. He made his deen to go with our fitrat, and our fitrat first says this, then we want this. La ilaha illallah. Send a salawat. My friends, those who wanted less, who didn't want more, and who settled for less, and who were happy being mediocre, was the quality of all those who came to kill Imam Hussein. Everyone who stood opposing Imam Hussein were people who were happy with being mediocre, settling for less. That a Taghut can now direct them to kill the grandson of Rasulullah. And they were happy doing that because they were happy with less. They were mediocre people, little people. Does Allah want us to become like them? My friends, on the other hand, if you look at Imam Hussein's people, those who were Imam Hussein, these were people who wanted infinite, who were not happy with what they have. They wanted more. You think a person like Zuhair ibn Qayn was some sort of a loser who didn't have anything to do? He was retired. He had nothing to do but die. So now he's like, okay, let me just die with Hussein. I'll get something out of it. You think that was the thinking of Zuhair? You think that was the thinking of Hur? Well, these people had everything. They wanted more than that. These people had everything. They wanted more. They had greed for more. They were not happy with what they had. They were winners. They were successful. They had it and they wanted more. And they saw that that was with Hussein. See, this is their mentality. The people who are with Imam Hussein are the people who reinforce that fitrat that they have of wanting more and wanting infinite. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So my friends, Allah did not send Islam to destroy our fitrat. Allah sent Islam to guide our fitrat. That inspiration we have, the motivation we have from our own nature, Allah wanted us to guide that. But if we destroy that, let's say I become someone who doesn't want more. I become someone who is happy with being mediocre. I am someone, for example, who is happy with the less that I have. Then Islam is here. And Islam will say, okay, I want to guide this force of yours, but you destroyed that force. You see, you destroyed the motivation. You destroyed that power that you have. So now what is Islam going to guide you? First of all, you need to have that force. You need to want more. You need to want infinite. You need to desire infinite. Then Islam came and said, okay, let me give direction to this. Let me show you where to go to want more. Let me show you what you have to do to want more. Then Islam can guide you. But if you destroyed this nature and don't want more, then I'm sorry, Islam is useless for you. What is Islam going to guide when you don't have any motivation? What is Islam going to guide when you don't have that inspiration? When you don't have that force because you curbed it and destroyed it? My friends, this is how we grow. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Don't be happy with being a slave. Don't be happy with being a slave. Because the Taghut, they want you to be happy. They have given a deen and made a deen that says, don't be greedy, be very satisfied with what you have. You have this, you have that, alhamdulillah, I'm happy with what I have. Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. This is not our fitrat. Alhamdulillah kulli hal, yes. You want more? Yes. Alhamdulillah kulli hal has a second sentence that says, yeah, I want more though. Yeah, Allah has given you that. I want more. Of course you should want more. That's how Allah made you, to want more. This is how we see that we are strengthened in this ideology. You know, on the day of Ashura, just an example I'll give you, right? On the day of Ashura, what happened is that Allah spoke to Hussein and said, Hussein, you are at an intersection. You need to make a choice. You need to make a choice. If you want, I will wipe this army out for you, and it will be finished. And if you want, you can let the flow go on, and you will become shaheed. Either way. I can stop this army and then just take it all away, and the whole thing will be finished. You are free to go. And on the other hand, I will, you can go on with what you're doing. This all will go on, and you will become shaheed, and you will die. But let me tell you before this, Hussein, either way, I love you. Either way, whether you choose this or you choose this, you are dear to me. And nothing will change that. Nothing will change that, Hussein. So now the choice is yours. Today, the choice is yours, not mine. You choose. Hussein, you choose. Hussein chose the ending of what will happen in Karbala. Hussein chose that. It wasn't imposed on him. Hussein chose that, my friends. He was free to choose. This is something special. Understand this? Allah won't be like, Hussein, I put you in this situation, you have no choice now, but give shahadat. No, my friends. This is not how it works. Allah says, Hussein, you are the master. You choose. You think that you're going to become any less by choosing otherwise? No, you will not. You choose, Hussein. Surah Fajr. Allah says to Imam Hussein, Irja'i ila rabbika radiyatan mardiya. Return to your Rabb, radhi with him, and in a maqam of marzi. You chose this, Hussein. You are in charge. You are a free man. Hussein chose to be Allah's slave. Inshallah, we will come to that. But my friends, that the idea of wanting infinite, Hussein knows where infinite is. Hussein knows where infinite is. We should want it. Friends, there is a fear. There's a fear that if religion is taught in the wrong way, if Islam is learned in the wrong way, it is hurting our growth. It is making us people who will stand against Imam Hussein, not with Imam Hussein. And what we want to discuss is, what makes us stand with Imam Hussein? I want to be that person. I want to be that person who stands with Imam Hussein. Well, how do I become that? Well, there's a way. And that's what we discuss in these majalis. How do I reach Karbala? How do I reach and I be with Imam Hussein? La ilaha illallah. My friends, the first way is by being greedy. By reinforcing this greed inside of you to want more. You have to want more. If you're happy with less, you can never stand with Imam Hussein until Ashura. You can't stand with Imam Hussein if you want less than that. You should want the best for yourself. Really, don't be happy with less than the best. Let me just say a little thing over here, right? I'll just take a break right now from the speech to say a little tangent, but inshallah it will be helpful for you. Let's send a salawats. My friends, how does shaitan misguide people? How does shaitan misguide people? Now obviously we do a very bad thing by always blaming shaitan for everything, all right? And shaitan is going to, absolve himself of that on the day of judgment and say, hey, listen, I didn't do all those things. They did it themselves, right? That's their problem. They did it themselves. I was not even there to meet them. In fact, I don't even know this person, never met him in my life. Because most of us, shaitan has never met. He doesn't come to people who have already lost. He's like, okay, you're happy yourself. Take a break, man. Shaitan only goes to those, top guns, those who are like really harmful for his mission, he goes to them because he sees that they're the ones that he needs to pull down. But you know how shaitan misguides a person? The first question, the first choice that shaitan gives is never a choice between good and evil. This is where we make a mistake. We think that shaitan is going to come to us and he's going to give us a choice, good and evil. Like, okay, what do you want, water or beer? Now tell me, my friends, if we were offered that, what would we choose? Water. Choose water, fine. He's like, I thought you were smarter than this. It would be right? This is what he does. He doesn't do this. He does not do that. He doesn't come with the first choice of good and evil. That would be the worst thing. And it would not work. So obviously he's smarter than that. The first choice that shaitan puts in front of you and what he makes you choose is not bad, but he makes you choose good. He wants you to choose good. I just want them to choose good. Okay, I choose good. Over what? Over what is best. Make a choice. This is halal, but this is better. Now, the question is, mashallah, halal, Allah made it halal, so let's do it. You see, that's the first choice he makes them. And when we choose good over best, what we do is that we train ourselves to be mediocre, to want less, to settle for less. That's what we do. Do you understand that? Then he will take us one step down. And then he'll give a choice close to each other. And we get used to that. Now that we have trained ourselves to be mediocre, now he will bring us down to a choice where haram is involved. See what happens when you are okay with mediocre? That is an incorrect Islam. It's the wrong practice, the wrong approach. That sort of Islam, the question you will see that is raised will show you the wrong Islam. That this is not Islam. For example, a question from wrong Islam would be, Maulana, is this halal? That question is wrong. For example, are tattoos halal? Okay, that's the wrong question. Well, if you ask that question, answer will be different. But so what should I ask then? What should I ask? Okay, what should you ask if you really want to know what you should ask, would Imam Hussein get a tattoo? Now the answer will be different. See, the answer would be different now. You see this? This is the difference between what is good for you and what is best for you. That's the right way of looking at things. This is the wrong way of looking at things. This will lead us to destruction eventually. That will lead us to success eventually. This is the difference, my friends, of how we choose excellence. Allah made us that. He wants us to want everything, and He wants us to have the best of everything. Want it. Go after it. Build this nature I gave you to want in every desire that you have to the highest level. And when you increase this fitrat, then my deen will come and will navigate this fitrat to the right place. But if you destroy this fitrat of wanting more and wanting infinite, then Islam cannot help you. Because Islam has come to guide a force. When the force is not there, what's Islam going to guide? Nothing. This is how the mechanism of growth works in Islam. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. MashaAllah. That's it, my friends. Inshallah, who's going to take the most advantage in this Muharram amongst you? This Muharram is right here. These days are right here now. And who amongst you is going to take the most advantage of this month, of these days? These are like days that are so precious. Who's going to take the most advantage? You know who? The one who has the most greed. The one who wants it the most. Are you greedy enough? Do you want it? How much do you want it? Ask yourself this. How much do you want it? The one who has the most passionate desire, he will plead. He will be making du'as and pleading, begging from Imam Mahdi, Ajalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu. He will be begging him that, Imam, I have come to the Majlis of Imam Hussein. I came to the tent of Imam Hussein. Imam, please don't let me leave here until I die with Hussein. Don't let me leave here before that. Do you have that passion? Do you want that? Decide now. Say, this is the beginning right now. Ashura is coming. How many of us are going to stay? It's not my fault that I wasn't born 1400 years ago to be with Imam Hussein. That's not my fault, but Muharram has come again. I can make that decision right now to be with Imam Hussein, and I want it. I desire it. How much do you desire it? Those who don't come with this desire, they are going to leave Imam Hussein before he dies. Before he's gone. Yes, my friends. You know what will happen to those people who don't have this passionate desire? You know what will happen to those people who don't want it all the way? You know what will happen to them? Imam Hussein is going to be so respectful to them. He will be so polite with them. You have come here. Imam Hussein respectfully and politely will thank you. And he will thank you and says, I thank you for your participation in these majalis. Now you can go home and relax. Go home, please, go home. Respectfully, I'm telling you to go. Go home. Relax. You know, and if you need help, I will be there to help you. Imam Hussain is saying, I will be there to help you. Whenever you're in need, call me, Ya Hussain, I will be there to help you. Now you can go. That's all you wanted, right? That's all you came to the Majlis for. Just participate, get some ajr and go. Go ahead. MashaAllah. You got your ajr, now you can go. See how easily Imam Hussain, with so much respect, will get rid of people who don't want it all. He'll get rid of you. People who deserve to be with Imam Hussain till the end are the ones who want it all. Completely want it all. Hussain, I'm not leaving you. No, I can't leave you. Shall I say a story? I want you to think about the story I'm telling you. It's real, historical, very real story. It is like mind-blowing. Truly understand this. Go home and think about it. Two men, companions of Imam Hussain, made a pact with Imam Hussain. They came to Imam Hussain and said, Mawla, we love you, we are there for you and all these things, and we want to fight with you. Imam Hussain says, yes, go ahead. But we want to make a pact with you, saying that, Mawla, if we see all your army is gone and dead and you're alone, we will fight till then. But if we see you alone, permit us to leave also. If we see you alone, we see there's nothing to fight. There's no army to win. Nothing's going to happen now. Allow us to leave. Imam Hussain said, sure, fine. And so they fought. They fought with Imam Hussain, and they were there until no one was left. Dhuhr Ashur came. No one was there. Everyone left. They came to Imam Hussain and said, Mawla, there's no one here. And we made a pact. Is it okay if we leave now? Imam Hussain said, yes. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Now you can go. Now you can go. My friends, really think about it. How much do you want? How much passion do you have to be with Imam Hussain? Imam Hussain is there giving you. You want to attend the Majlis and get the ajr and go. Imam Hussain will be happy and more respectfully will tell you, please, go home and relax. And remember, I'm there for you. I will help you. I will help you whenever you call me. But that's all you wanted from me. See, that's all you want from me. If you wanted more, I would have given you more. Many people go for ziyarat, you see. What do they get after? They get what they want, that's it. They went there, alhamdulillah, felt good, felt nice, felt this, and they came back with some tabarukat. La ilaha illallah. If they wanted more, they could have gotten more. How much do you want, my friends? La ilaha illallah. Let's think about this. Hazrat Ibrahim, when he made dua for his children, in that dua, you see that he said, Ya Allah, that Af'idatan minan nas tahwi ilayhim. Allah, make the hearts of people crave for my children. Crave for them. Tahwi means desire, passionately, want more of them, crave for them. Ibrahim made this dua in the Quran. Let the people crave for my children. My friends, if you do not crave for Hussain, We should be craving for him. We should have this passionate desire for him. And when you do not have that passionate desire for Hussein, when you do not crave for Imam Hussein, what happens? What happens is that Hussein will be cut into pieces. That's what will happen. Hussein is going to be butchered. This is it, my friends. That's all there is for us right now. You know, Hussein is entering Karbala on the 2nd of Muharram. 2nd of Muharram, Hussein is entering Karbala. He is now entering this land. Many people had warned him that do not take Zainab with you. Do not take your family with you. Hussein said, I am not the one taking them. Whoever is coming, it has been decreed that they're coming for a reason. There's an amr from Allah that is Allah's, not mine. And everyone who has come here is for a reason. Everyone who hasn't come here is also for a reason. If I'm bringing a 6-month-old child, it's for a reason. Allah has a reason for it. And if I left my daughter in Medina, it's for a reason. Imam Hussein did not make those choices of that. That's Allah's plan of what's going to happen. You know, when everyone was being taken from Medina, Imam Hussein strictly said that my daughter Sughra is going to stay behind. She's going to stay behind. And Fatima Sughra was obviously disturbed by this news. She was disturbed and she was asking, why is it that I'm being left behind? Everyone is leaving me. The whole family is leaving, except for her. She's being left behind. You know, there's a reason. Imam Hussein, how could you explain to her? She's a young girl. How can you explain to her the reason? So it is said that Sughra went to Bibi Zainab and said, Aunt Zainab, please ask my father, why am I being left behind? Why am I being left behind? You know, Bibi Zainab asked Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein said, Zainab, do you want to know? Let me give you the reason Allah is looking at this and why He doesn't want Fatima Sughra to be there. It's not my decision, it's Allah's decision. He says, why is that? He says, Allah has given me children to be the replica of my parents and my fathers. Ali Akbar is the replica of Rasulullah. Fatima Kubra is the replica of my father. She resembled Imam Ali. And Fatima Sughra is the replica of my mother Fatima. Allah in His decree has decided that Ayat-e-Tathir came down to Fatima. He doesn't want Fatima's face to be exposed to the world. Ajrukum ala Allah. Ajrukum ala Allah. Hussein is entering Karbala. Everything has been decreed. Every piece has fallen into place. Everything has fallen into place in the right way. Hussein knows this. He comes to Karbala, and as he comes there, his horse, Zuljana, stops there. Hussein knows this is the place, but he wants to make sure that others also know this, that they should understand where we are standing right now and what is the destiny of this place. So Hussein asks the people around there, what is the name of this land? What is the name of this land? Some people say Shattul Farat. Then he says, no, there must be another name for it. Some say it is also known as Ghadariya. Then Hussein says, no, there must be another name for it. Some said that this is known as Nainawa. Then he says, okay, there must be another name. They all were looking at each other, and one old man came forward and said that I heard from my forefathers that this land is called Karbala. When Hussein heard that this is Karbala, he says, A'udhu billahi min karbin wa bala. I seek refuge in Allah from Karbala. Hussein started emphasizing Karbala to everyone, that this is Karbala. This is where things are going to happen that are unheard of. This is where every hardship is going to fall on the house of Fatima. And there Hussein now sits there, and as he is now telling Abbas to put the tents here, Zainab calls Hussein, and they sends a word for Hussein. Hussein rushes towards Zainab, and he asks her, what is the matter, my sister? Zainab says, my heart is filled with grief, as if the whole world has fallen on top of me. What is this place, brother? What is this land that we are standing in? I cannot stand this place. This place is like hurting me. It's harming me. Hussein explains to Zainab what this place is. Zainab, let me tell you about this place. There was a time when I came here with my father. With our father, I came here. Imam Ali. And when my father came here, he was tired. He was exhausted. He felt exhausted. So he told my brother Hassan, Hassan, please sit down. Give me your lap. I need to rest for a while. I need to rest for a while. Hussein put his head in the lap of Imam Hassan, and he went to sleep there. When he went to sleep there, after a while, he just jumped out of his sleep. Tears from his eyes. His face was pale, and everyone, Imam Hussein asked him, what happened? Imam Hassan asked him, what happened, father? Imam Ali says, I saw a dream. I saw a dream. In my sleep, I saw this dream. He says, what did you see? I saw that in this land, there's a river of blood. There's a river of blood. It's red blood, and one man is drowning in that blood. He is trying to stay afloat with his hand and feet. He is trying to stay afloat, but he's drowning in that blood. So I go forward to see who that person is. When I get close to help him, I saw this is my Hussein. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون يا محمود بحق محمد يا الله بحق علي يا فاطر السماوات بحق فاطمة يا محسن بحق حسن يا قديم الأحسان بحق حسين. Oh Allah, give us the tawfiq to be on the right path, the wisdom to understand your guidance. Hasten the reappearance for Imam. Make us his helper when he comes. وآخر الدعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. ماتم حسين.